do you always find yourself in a situation whereby perhaps you want a good salary and after some few days your money is gone? You spend a lot of your money and you try as much as you can to try the best that you do not overspend your money, but you always find yourself in the same problem. Say maybe you paid, let's say at date 3, by date 14, 16, 17, you're thinking of getting an advance, you do not have money, you're addicted to spending. The moment money shows up, you always think about, hey, I want to buy something, I want to grab something, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And perhaps if somebody asks, where does your money go? Hey, like last week you had like 20,000, 40, 100,000. Where is it? You say, I do not know. And you think deep inside of yourself, hey, I think I'm suffering from a certain problem. And guess what? If you've reached to a certain particular situation that now you realize, hey, something is not okay. At that particular juncture, when you realize that, now the body is telling you, or the conscious is telling you, hey, it's a high time you look for the solution over the problem. And guess what? I now come at the right time, because on this video, I'm going to share with you, if you do suffer from overspending addiction, then what exactly can you do to get yourself out of the challenge? Because this is a question that a lot of people tend to ask. And most of the calls that I usually receive, this is kind of the calls that I get. Get what, Joseph? I'm getting paid. I won't say that I don't get a good amount of money, but I cannot tell where my money goes. What exactly do you do that? Guess what? I've actually outlined for you 4 things or 4 tips, how you're supposed to apply them, what are they, and how effective do they function. So how about you stick with me to the end? Watch this video, because the 4th tip, it's actually one of the best. It's actually the best out of the 4 that I've outlined. All right. So anyway, how about you stick with me, watch this video to the end so you get the maximum out of it. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Point number 1, commit your cash. Very simple. I call it CC. Commit your cash. What does it mean? Do not have what we call the idle money. Because if you had that no liquid cash with you or at your disposal, then at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to actually go ahead and spend your money. Maybe I could say this. Have you ever seen somebody doing the shopping with a title deed? Obviously not. You cannot do that. So the point is this, the problem that you're having right now is that, first of all, you have idle money. You have uncommitted money. You know, that money shows up at your doorstep and you got nothing you can do about it. So the money is out there. Maybe let's say at your M-Pesa, maybe at your bank, and it's not fixed and what have you. So what do? You tend up to look around and try to feed that basket. By the way, you can check that video that I talked about. In life, you have 3 baskets. So you go to feed that basket that we call the nice to have basket. You see, the nice to have basket is the basket that makes you happy. It's the basket that releases that dopamine hormone. It's the basket that really differentiates person A to the person B. Because, hey, guess what? Have you ever seen somebody who is actually bragging and, flossing in front of people and telling them, hey, guess what, guys? I paid my rent. No, you never see that. Or, hey, guess what, guys? I did my shopping and I have food in my house. No, they don't do that. But when I buy a car, hey, guess what, guys? I just bought a car. When I build a very beautiful home, hey, guess what, guys? I just buy, I built a home and all those kind of things. Because you're just doing what we call you're feeling the nice to have the basket. So the thing is this. Deep inside of you, you do have that thing that is called the idle cash. So what are you supposed to do with this idle cash? You're supposed to commit yourself into something. I've been talking about tens and tens of areas where you can actually go ahead and invest your money. You can pick one investment. All right. Sometimes I even tell these people, if you're so much addicted to it, then you can even pick something that you can be buying it in, and service it as a loan. Right. You can just buy a piece of land whereby you require at the end of the month to get a good chunk of your money, from your payment, at least acquire that asset. Because now that way you constrict the cash flow. Because the problem that you're suffering right now is that you do have cash flow, which is okay. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should not have cash flow. You should have it. But the problem is that you do not know where to direct that amount of money. So if you commit your cash to buying something, say an asset, all right, maybe let's say you want to get yourself into matatu industry, getting yourself into buying a car that you're going to put on the road and earn some cash out of it. You're now committing your money. If you get some cash and you commit it towards, say, money market fund, you're now committing your money, let's say an index fund. You can get it into something like, hey, some circles. I made a very good video and I showed you exactly how you can actually accumulate and compound your money in a certain period of time. All right. So those are but a simple examples of areas whereby you can actually do an amazing thing when it comes to you accumulating your money and also compounding your money. So commit your cash. Don't let your cash shows up on your doorstep. You have no plan, and then the money end up doing anything and everything that they want to do with it. So the point is this. Hey, guess what? The problem is that you have the idle money. What's the remedy? Remedy is that commit your cash. What does it mean? Pick some areas where you can be able to invest. And I've given you examples. You can do circles, you can do money market fund, you can do treasury bills if you have the capability. You can start investments like the businesses, normal businesses. You can commit into buying an asset. It's as simple as that. So the point is that commit your cash. Avoid as much as you can to having that idle cash. Right? So let's check the second one. The second one is about change your circle. Let me tell you one secret. There is no habit that is actually, just came out of nowhere. Some of the things that we do in life are actually, influences from external as well as the internal factors. And you find perhaps in most cases when you're going to those shoppings, obviously perhaps I know, your company, your friends, wherever they are going, and they're doing all those kind of things, and there you are, you're also doing the shopping and what have you. So the point is, this is always good to make sure that, hey, what kind of friends am I having? Do they suffer from the same problem? Because if they do, then it means that you getting the solution out of that, it's gonna take you ages. So it's always good to understand these friends of mine, they're amazing, they're good people, they help me maybe spiritually, but when it comes to finance, they're not really the best friends of mine. And there's a video that I made and I told you, hey, if you are above 30 and you have yourself 3 friends, you have a problem, you're suffering, because those are not real friends. At 30, in most cases, you're supposed to have one friend, almost to none. All right, that's the reality. So the point is this: those guys whom you circle around yourself with, those guys whom you hang around with, if they talk about spending, at the end of the day, you're gonna do exactly that. There's somebody who said like, hey, guess what? Show me your 10 friends and I'm gonna show. Rather, they say, show me your friends and I'm gonna define who you are. And I say that, hey, in 5, 10, 15 years from today, you will what you're gonna achieve in that period of time. It's actually a mirror of what they have, the closest friends of yours have achieved. Have you ever, associated with friends who are buying cars, and then you end up finding yourself buying car or thinking about cars or something of sort? This is real, by the way. This is real. Yeah. So you find like if you encircle yourself with people who are talking about, hey, investing, making money, there's something about the language changes, and even your perception about life changes. You get to be exposed to do different things. There was a time I interacted with 2 guys who worked in a corporate world, and it did a very good amount of money in terms of the salary. And now when I talked about the money market fund and a treasury bills, all those guys were shocked, and I was like, what the? These guys are the ones who are supposed to understand these things, they exist. And the only thing that they knew is about insurance. Because, and about the life insurance and what have you. When we talk about the hedge fund, the index fund, actually I was expecting them to teach me about these things. And then they were like, what are you just talking about? Just what are those things? And I was like, oh my goodness. Is this about ignorance or what exactly is going on here? So, but the point is this: commit yourself to the circles of friends who understands themselves. That's what you're supposed to know. That's what you're supposed to do. All right? Okay. Let's go to the third point. Hope we are moving together. Let's go to the third point. Apply the 10 seconds rule. This is quite amazing, and I want you to pay a very close attention. What does the 10 seconds rule mean? Before you buy anything, for example, when I show up in a supermarket and I want to buy something, say I did not budget about thing, or of which I rarely do, but say I get myself in such a situation, or even I had budgeted for that specific thing, and it's really a liability. So I grab it, I look at it, I think about it. I take 10 seconds and ask myself the real questions. Like, number 1, must I get this thing? Okay. If an answer is a yes or no, okay, fine. What if I don't get this thing? What happens? Okay, probably you would make money tomorrow, or probably your health is at risk, or maybe you're gonna walk naked. Say I'm talking about clothing, or maybe let's say you really need this because it's a supplement of what you're looking for. Say about health as well. So you ask yourself those real questions, then really hard crack your brain and ask yourself the real questions. Then if the answer becomes yes, 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 and of course you realize that you're not getting this, you're not answering if they're the most worst person you can ever lie to is yourself. All right. So it's good to tell yourself the true answer. So if you ask yourself all those questions before you grab that specific item, and they tick all the boxes, and it is like yes, 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 is go ahead and grab that thing. You really need it. All right. But if you realize, hey, you just grab, why am I really buying this shoe? Well, I'm buying this shoe because I saw my friends with it and I really loved it on her or him. Okay, fine. That's not really a substantive answer that I should rely on when I'm buying an item. Okay, fine. Why am I buying this specific gadget? Hey, guess what? I usually wake up very early. I do not have time to make coffee. So if I buy this coffee making machine, then it means I'm going to save myself each and every 200 Kenyan shillings each and every day that I usually grab a coffee from that coffee joint. Then it means, now you're making, my dear, now you're making a sense out of it. Now, when you go ahead and purchase that specific item, then At the end of the day, it means that you make a concise decision. So that's what you do. It's called a 10 seconds rule. You apply that rule and ask yourself every time before you grab an item. Obviously, I'm not talking about when you're buying food. You see, with food, you have to buy. You see, if you give yourself all the reasons why you should buy food, you'll get them. All right. So the point is this: whenever you're buying that thing that you know, well, it's okay to have it, but it's not really a must that you do have it. But sometimes you might be necessitated to buy that specific item, and this is where this is where the issue of cars come from. You find there's some people who may view buying cars the first thing before buying a piece of land and building as a liability. To others, it is not, because these guys usually work with car. They say they do the Uber, they do the taxi, they do what have you. So them buying a car, or maybe it's convenience to their businesses. So them buying a car is not really a liability; it's an asset. So you have to ask yourself those kind of questions and real questions. And if you must be influenced by people outside there, then let it be a positive influence. That's the reality. And that's what you're supposed to understand yourself. Anyway, let's continue. The last one but not the least that I told you I'm going to share with you is that how about you get the Good Joseph's package? That's the best. What do I mean? Like, you do have that problem of spending. I always say I have my number on the description of this specific video, and you can always grab it. And that means that if you grab it, then at the end of the day, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to get some information on how to manage your cash, how to manage your money, and all those kind of things. So grab that number from the description of this specific video. Give me a call for just a cup of coffee's price. We go through the entire thing. We try to monitor out the things that actually, or where your money is going. And then from there, and only there, that's the time we can realize, hey, these are the do's, these are the don'ts. Then we classify them. Once we classify them, we target for doing that in the next 21 days. And then the next 61 days, and then the next 91 days. And after the 91 days, we are good to go. You'll have actually developed yourself a very good character, a habit that you can carry forward with it throughout your life. And if you be incorporating that specific character, you're going to be amazing. You're going to be good, and everything will going to be all right as far as the cash is concerned. Guess what? I bet I've done the justice to this video. That's the end of my video, but it's not the end of me posting each and every day. So if you don't want to miss any of my good videos too, this doesn't cost you anything. It's free of charge. Down below there on your right, there's a very small button written subscribe is in black. Hit that magical button and subscribe. That's what it means by subscribing. Turn that notification bell on. When you do that, every time I upload a new good video, can you imagine this? A whole YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.